Let's not stand on ceremony here. Victory has defeated you. Oh, you think darkness is your ally? You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already a man. By then it was nothing to me but blinding. The shadows betray you because they belong to me.
Greetings and good evening. Welcome to the Roundtable, ladies and gentlemen. Today is Tuesday, February the 10th, 2026. Bonsoir, comment ça va? I am Drew, and welcome to the season finale of our humble endeavor here called the Roundtable. We are wrapping up 3 glorious seasons following 3 fantastic NFL seasons, capped off with a Super Bowl to remember for one reason or another, depending on the team that you were supporting and or the team that crushed your hopes and dreams. I am so looking forward to the conversation that we are going to have tonight. Even though that this is the last show of the season, every time that you and I come together for the last time of a regular season or a NFL season, Griff, I cherish that episode because it is one of those episodes that it is in depth, not only about the game and the season, but what and where and how we are going to transition from the closure of the current season and heading into the next season and look at society on a larger scale. And I am so looking forward to that conversation tonight. Super welcome to everybody in the roundtable audience and in the chat. Thank you for joining us on whatever platform that you are joining us on tonight, whether it be on Facebook Live, TikTok Live, or YouTube Live. We are streaming on all 3 of those platforms, and you can actively engage in the conversation in real time on whatever platform that you are on. So feel free to let the keyboard fingers get into this conversation. Griff, it was a Super Bowl for the ages, my man. Many of the Monday morning quarterbacking was, I told y'all so. Then I knew this was going to happen. This defense was too good for that offense. And yes, we are going to hear a lot of that tonight. But there has to be some peeling of the onion to analyze why what happened. So I introduce you on this fine Tuesday evening, this final Tuesday of our regular or our season 3 season. How are you doing tonight, Mike?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Hey, the weather is excellent around here. We back in our 80s. Got to get ready to go get this grass and stuff ready for the spring as it's getting ready to approach us. Great football, you right. It was everything that I liked, everything that I expected in the game, and we talked about it on Friday, and looking forward to breaking it down today.
Yeah, yeah. My forecast on the our end, we got some sunshine today. We broke 50 degrees, so uh,
What?
for a hot minute, man, it felt like a spring day in May up in here, up in
Mm.
here. Super Bowl 60. And once again, happy Black History Month to everyone out there in Roundtable Land. Continue. I got some things to say about Black History a little later too. Continue to expand your mind. Griff, Super Bowl 60. The matchup was the matchup. We had 2 long weeks of comparing the Seattle defense to the to the New England offense, and whether or not the New England offense could create a level of success against this Seahawk defense that appropriately they named themselves the dark side, and they snatched Drake May and that New England offensive line into the dark side. Jordan, phenomenal intro video, by the way. Shout out to Lineman Up Media. Y'all continue to do a great job each and every episode and putting all of these behind the scene clips and videos together. So, again, if y'all got some work for multimedia publication, look up Lineman Up Media. Griff, man, I knew the Seattle defense was dominant. Troy said it on Friday night. They were going to create multiple turnovers, possible scoring opportunities. They created those, got to score themselves, and obviously led this team to the title. They were the true MVP of this game, even though my man Walker III had a phenomenal game. How were you surprised in any way that the New England Patriots had no ability to create any type of offense until the fourth quarter?
Nope, I wasn't surprised, and the offense that they produced in the fourth quarter was, let's just say, it was near the end of the game, and the game was out of reach.
Mhm.
I said this last week, and I said this even after they played Denver. I, we play who we play, but the playoffs expose the Patriots.
Mm.
When they played the Texans and when they played Denver, they struggled. They struggled throughout the whole playoffs too, and then in the, how you say, the Super Bowl was just the grand finale. I,
Hmm.
I knew for a fact that not taking anything away from the Patriots, man, they offense just could not match what Seattle had on that side of the ball. Seattle found the weak spot in there. They picked on the rookie, they exposed the rookie, and they got him. And I'm talking about, I don't want to beat Campbell up. I understand he's a rookie, but hey, you started in the Super Bowl.
That's my guy, baby.
And hey,
From
man, they
LSU.
chopped him up.
I said Will Campbell is from LSU, man.
Hey, well, they chopped him up, man. He looked like he looked like an LSU player the way he was
Hey,
acting.
hey. Watch it now.
I would say, again, I knew what the defense was going to do. The thing for me, and I said this on Friday, was not so much that Sam Darnold don't make any mistakes, but could he limit the mistakes? And
Mhm.
in this game, he allowed his defense, like you said, the defense was the MVP. He didn't have to do much. He just didn't have to turn the ball over. I was shocked. Now this game could have went either way because there was some times, man, that he really could have got torched, man. The Patriots got to be blessed that they got Gonzalez over there. First
Mhm.
of all, Gonzalez played right now
Ooh.
on the Patriots side of that ball. It was twice that Seattle should have been on that scoreboard, and Gonzalez broke up passes at the last second, man. But Seattle, once I seen Seattle had the ability to run the ball, I knew it was all downhill for the Patriots at that point. Being able to run the ball, and everybody always talk about Griffith, say the same thing all the time. But if you can establish a running game, if you can keep
Uh-huh.
the opposing defense on the field and get them jokers tired, I don't care how good they are. And the Patriots do have a good defense. Sam Darnold, it wasn't a cakewalk for Sam Darnold. They gave him some heat.
Mhm.
But eventually the defense get tired, and that's what happened to this team right here. That defense over there, like I told you, is better than the Legion of Boom to me. That dark side showed why they was the dark side, and like you said, I love the intro and the selection that Jordan chose to open it up with the music from Batman. I'm shocked Jordan knew that. After we didn't do all these.
Yeah, that's an inside joke. Yeah.
And that's an inside joke for the Roundtable family, man. But hey, I'm shocked Jordan even knew about that particular move. You know what I'm saying?
Jordan say back up off and raise up off me, man. You were absolutely right as it pertains to what Griff says all of the time, right? And I had to jump on that train and say that if not only is Seattle able to establish a rushing game or a run game early in the game, but if my man, Mr. Walker III, was able to have those successful rushes in the first drive, that Mike Vrabel's defense was going to be in for a long night. Now, two things can be true, and two things are true. Seattle completely dominated this game from the first play to the last play. But as Griff mentioned, this game was in question until the fourth quarter. Even though Seattle completely dominated this game, we all know you're just one play away. And with the inability of Seattle's offense to put it into the end zone, to completely close the door by halftime, because this game at halftime was 12-0. We knew England's offense wasn't going to be able to generate any points based off of how that defense was completely smothering them. Griff, you said last week that you believed the dark side was better than the Legion of Boom. My response was they got to go out there and get that chip. And they have to be the reason that the Seahawks win. They cannot be a bus rider in a 35-31 game. They have to be the reason. And not only did they confirm that they are the reason, 6 sacks, we know that. 3 turnovers, we know that. The pick 6 that's on the screen right now to seal the deal. But the way that they shut down and exposed, as you mentioned, a New England offense that was able to put up 28 points a game, the second highest scoring team in the entire league throughout the regular season, highlighted the lack of strength in their schedule and the strength of their defense that carried them through the playoffs against 3 solid playoff teams. And an injury for the Denver Broncos. Even with a backup quarterback, should have won that game, if not for Sean Payton's lack of willingness to take the points when the points were available. But that's neither here nor there. This game confirmed that the dark side is better than the Legion of Boom. That back four, man, shut down. I didn't even know Stephon Diggs was playing in the game until the fourth quarter. No receiver had a reception until the fourth quarter. They couldn't generate any chance for Drake May to have the chance to look downfield. That defense was so smothering that I started feeling sorry for Drake May because he was really shaken. Griff, he had the same look on his face that Sam Darnold had several years ago when he played for the New York Football Jets.
You were seeing ghosts.
Man, it was something to see. So, yeah, the dark side is a monster. Can they sustain that going forward? Can they repeat? Because that defense being as dominant as it was the number one defense in the National Football League scoring-wise this year. Top 3 performance in the Super Bowl in the history of the Super Bowl, in my opinion, right? We can talk about either the 72 Dolphins, the 86 Bears, or the 2000 Baltimore Ravens, or the 2002 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where they fall into that category, but top 3 performance because they completely shut down New England. Can they do next year what they did this year, in your opinion?
It's about what they do during the off season. You know, when you win Super Bowls, it causes problems. I'm just gonna just keep it. You how are they gonna be able to? They might have to restructure some of these guys' contracts. They was already talking about Smith and Jigga today, and him and Puka Nakua is about to move the price tag on receivers because they both in a negotiation period, and that fill out. Kenny Walker, can you bring him back?
You
I
have
mean,
to.
again, he has a viable reason to say I should be making more money now. The kid is only like 24, 25 years old, and his performance is another reason why they where they at. Uh, they have the pieces in place. It's whether or not they can lock these pieces in and what they can bring back. They just lost they OC to the Raiders. So now who's gonna come in and be your play caller? See all those things, man. It's a blessing and it's a curse at the same time when you on top. And now, people going to be, people don't pay attention to all that stuff. They just know that they won the Super Bowl last year and they should be just as good next year as they are this year. But it's going to be some changes, man. I mean, they had a nucleus. It's about can they re-sign people and who that next OC is going to be? Are they going to come in there and basically run the same type of offense that Kubiak had? Is the defense still going to be sharp? Uh, what guys are going to retire? What guys going to stay? What guys are willing to take less so we can keep this team together? So that's what I'm looking for. The off season is going to dictate it.
Yes, I absolutely agree. On the defensive side of the ball, they are going to be able to remain as close to intact that you would want them. On the offensive side of the ball, they're going to have so many decisions to make. That is going to be the deciding factor. Can they come back and do the same thing next year what they did this year? Yeah, they can, because Sam Darnold has shown you over the past couple of years he is very adaptable. As long as he has the weapons and a legitimate defense, he can lead you to victories. Will they do it? No, they won't do it because of those X factors that you mentioned. They will bring back Kenneth Walker III. His contract, his rookie deal has ended. It has expired. He is an unrestricted free agent. His performance in the playoffs has increased his value to about $10 to $11 million per year. And that is within Seattle's doable budget, according to initial reports. Where they're going to have to break the bank is how are we going to re-sign Sam Darnold to a long-term deal now? Because he was on that short-term deal. You're going to have to prove it before we come back to the table. Well, damn it, he has delivered in year one. So they're going to go back and renegotiate something long-term. With Jackson Smith and Jigba, it is whether or not Cooper Kupp wants to come back and take a pay cut, because JSN is going to get his. And whether or not you can afford to keep two out of those three young tight ends that are key difference makers on offense. We haven't even mentioned the offensive line. We haven't even mentioned what are the key components that they need and the OC. Late in the game, who is out there that's available that is a quality OC that you can say can come in and either pick up where Clint Kubiak left off or come in and not rock the boat, but still produce fruit.
Hey, Drew, I do want to say this because that's an area that we left out, man. Because I would say this: the Patriots also took the Seattle Seahawks receivers out of the game too. The difference was Sam Darnold was able to find his tight ends. Those tight ends that you just spoke of played key. They was key factors in this game right here, and they kept Sam Darnold clean for the most part. That was one of my problems with the Patriots. You knew Campbell was struggling over there, but they never put nobody over there to help him. Put a tight end over there, chip somebody or something like that. I mean, the kid was getting drugged, but you spot on with that as far as the offense. The defense they should be, but you got guys like D Law. He ain't no spring chicken no more, man. He might be saying, hey, you know what? I got my ring now.
Yeah.
It might be time to walk out, while I'm on top or whatever. So that front four, because that was the strength of that team.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
front four was the reason why the back five could do what they wanted to do because that front four. They never when you only have to rush for and not just rushing, but the guys can stop the run too. because again, they shut the run game down.
Yeah. New England had no success on offense.
And I was shocked, man, because I would have thought McDonald, man, as much as he's been in this situation, Troy had already brought up the fact, screens. That's how you get teams that's coming at you like that. You throw screens and stuff like that. But I'm gonna be honest, the boy didn't have time to even throw screens in this game. And after he got tagged a few times, even if he did have time, all he was thinking about from that point on was who's gonna hit me next.
Yeah. Right. And if you ask any football aficionado, they'll tell you the two most important positions on offense for a right-handed, offensive-minded player. The quarterback who is right-handed and the left tackle.
Yep.
Their left tackle, my guy, Will Campbell, ran the over play after play after play after play after play with whoever was on the defensive right side. It did not matter. I mean, straight bulldoze. My man forgot to eat his Wheaties on Sunday morning. The left guard, another rookie, getting run over the whole game. So that defense was the reason that Seattle won that championship. They do have enough backup, say, like if a D Law says, all right, I'm going to go and ride off into the sunset like Shane. And I came, I saw, I won, I'm going to the house. They have enough to close that gap. They have enough youth to close that gap. You see how much they rotate on defense. So the dark side shall be back next year terrorizing offenses. Now, whether or not the offense looks like it did this year, it depends on Sam Darnold. Can he repeat or continue on the track that he has put together here over the past couple of years?
Hey, Adrian said that the field goal kicker should have been field goal kickers get no MVPs around here, baby. Joker's coming up with that clean uniform, been sitting over there drinking Gatorade. His reward was getting free Gatorade all game. You just come out there and kick them field goals.
And none of them were longer than 30 yards.
Yeah, he was always.
It was like 4 or 5 extra points, my guy.
Rank but trust signing in on that.
No props.
Trust signing off on that, man. Rank, you could have kicked them field goals.
I know.
Trust signing off.
No, man. But before we move on to the halftime show, I want to talk about Sam for a quick hot minute. Where does this rank Sam going into 2026 in your book? I know we talked about it a little bit on Friday night. We never did get to that top 10 quarterback list. We'll do that later on in the show. Just remind us, Jordan. Does Sam legitimately crack your top 10 in the NFL based off of what you see, cumulative production throughout his career? We know about the 5 different teams and the 5 different years, but where we are now, is Sam Darnold one of those quarterbacks that you can hang your hat on and say, well, I know he's going to take me to the promised land because he's already taken 18 to the promised land?
You talking about top 10 like going into the next season?
Yes, going into 2026.
Oh, he'll definitely, man. I don't see him falling off. He has only gotten better from when we first saw him with the Jets and he was seeing ghosts. It's not like he done dropped off. I would say, man, one, his Super Bowl appearance automatically put him in the top 10 spot. Where we rank him at, again, I need to look at my list, but I still wouldn't put him there because of some of the intangibles. Because he does have a tendency, he can turn the ball over. He doesn't, me and them happy feet guys, I don't get happy feet guys a lot of. Shocked me, man. He ran one time in the Super Bowl. Shocked the hell out of me, man. That was something I wasn't expecting. He actually extended a drive by running to get a first down. But he'll definitely been, based off what I've seen this past year, he's definitely one of the top 10 quarterbacks.
I love when you do that sometimes, man. You give me these opportunities to not only come back and kind of refute what you're saying, but to use your own words against you.
Use them, man.
Here's the thing. Let me ask you this question though, before I give my feedback. Does he have anything to prove anymore?
No.
No. Okay. So is Sam Darnold a top 10 quarterback? You said possibly, maybe, I don't know, going into 2026. I got to review my list. Well, based on your list, the only quarterbacks that are going to be on your list that have won a Super Bowl would be Patrick Mahomes, would be Matthew Stafford, would be Jalen Hurts, would be Sam Darnold. That's four. I can't count anybody else. Can you? So if he's not on your top 10 list and in the top five, then we all have to have a conversation with each other honestly. Because here's the thing. We talk about physical attributes, physical talents, what you can do on the field, how effective you are, how impressive your numbers are. Does all of that transition into dubs? If it does, great. If it doesn't, you just a pretty shiny object on the field making the spectacular plays. All of these other quarterbacks that are in that top 10 list for you, me, Troy, everybody else in the chat, everybody else in the Roundtable family, everybody else in the football world, if you don't produce results, what are you doing? What are you doing? The objective is to win the game, as Herman Edwards said. We play to win the game. And if you're not winning, what are you doing? You're losing. As somebody famously once said. So results matter, at least to me. Sam Darnold has won more games in the past 2 years than any other quarterback in the history of the National Football League. We just dismissed that. We have to divorce ourselves from year one, year two, year three Sam Darnold. He was a 21, 22, 23-year-old quarterback still learning how to play football, let alone for the New York Football Jets, Jets. So Sam Darnold is not only, I'm going to tell you right now, in my top 10, he's in my top 5 because of what he has done in the past 2 years.
Okay.
And what we think he can do next year by only getting better. Conversation later on.
I'm about to link you up with Fred, so you sound like a celebrationist too. You sound like a celebrationist too. I agree with you. All jokes aside, and I know we got to move on to. I agree with you, and I even said that. And I don't have problems dialing back. When I'm wrong, I'm gonna come back, and when I'm wrong, I'm gonna admit when I'm wrong. Sam Darnold has, and I think I said that when I first started. I said he is not that guy that when he first came into the league, he has only gotten better each year as he played, and he has proven it. You know, when given that opportunity. I had a conversation with somebody earlier. Oftentimes, it's all about being in the right system and with the right people that believe in you. You know what I'm saying? Because once you got the people believing in you, and he has the coach. His coach said he don't know what nobody else got to say about it, but the guy that came and just worked harder than anybody he knows since day one, and that's why he believed in him. So I agree with you. I mean, he won the Super Bowl. I ain't gonna put him in my top 5. I'm sorry. He's still. I know. But do we put Flacco? Flacco won the Super Bowl. Do we put Trent Dilfer during those times? Trent Dilfer, Foles? Do we put all them in the top 5 because they won a Super Bowl? Most people wouldn't even put Eli Manning, and he won 2 of them during those times when he was playing. He wasn't even in the top 5 going into those Super Bowls.
Well, that was in 2009, sir.
Super Bowl. I'm just saying, Super Bowl. You said the Super Bowl.
So here, check this out. You said that Sam Darnold has a lot of turnovers. He led the NFL in turnovers in 2025 with 20 turnovers.
Yeah.
We forget that, but is Josh Allen in your top 10?
You know how I feel about Josh Allen.
Is he in your top 10?
Yes, he in the top 10.
So are we counting turnovers or are we not counting turnovers?
I ain't said nothing about turnovers. You said your top 5 because Josh Allen ain't in my top 5. What I said was that he has the ability or he can drop off. Okay. He's shown it, but I never said that his turnovers is something that we look past or it's going to be something that knock him out of the 10, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got you, McDowell. Sasebo. All right. Sam, I am.
He said Eli ain't even top 5 in his family.
Hey, but but Eli has earned the most money out of everybody in his family. How about
What?
that? Yes, more than his brother Peyton.
Man,
Obviously, much
all these
more than his.
commercials these cats be in, I can't keep up who making the most money, man.
Well, I don't know who's making the most money now because they're giving it away. But
Yeah.
Eli walked out of the NFL with a 212 wins, 212 losses, two Super Bowls, and the highest paid quarterback in the history of the National Football League.
Can't be mad at him.
No, sir. And apparently has a whole lot of other jobs, stealing them from other people. Anyways, bruh, the Super Bowl international audience every single year. Every single year, it is America's favorite sport, biggest event, culminating a season that goes through the grind of disappointment, thrills, last second wins and losses, some fugaziness here and there. But for the most part, 6 months of unadulterated, exciting football where you look forward to going out there in 5-degree weather for 6 hours to support your team. Hopefully, your team is doing well and or competitive. And it culminates at whatever location that the NFL decides on every single year. Right. So here over the past, 39 years now, dating back to way back in 1987 when In Living Color created the necessity for a Super Bowl halftime show. The Super Bowl halftime show has evolved every single year. And it has gotten a little bit better, a little bit more interesting with each performer. And just like we had this conversation last year about the Super Bowl halftime show and what it meant based on who the performer was, who the artist was, and the message that he was trying to deliver during his halftime show, you had a follow-up performer this year in Bad Bunny performing at this year's halftime show. So I have some thoughts on what it meant to me, right? Because I can only speak for me. So I'm going to use this platform on this night to share my thoughts. But before I do, I wanted to give you the opportunity to share any thoughts that you may have, and or what did you take from the performance, the delivery, the message, the visual effects, the cultural identity that was being represented, the inclusion that was obviously being displayed from Bad Bunny's performance.
Hey man, I loved everything about this show, man. Look, first of all, uh, the NFL is not just an American thing. It's global. They playing 9 games globally next year. Bad Bunny is one of the, or if not the top selling artists worldwide, not just in the United States, worldwide. So when they start looking at look when they start looking at who they gonna have performing these shows, they're not just thinking about America. They thinking globally, and how do we get more people to view our stage? Me personally, a guy being in the military, I love learning about different cultures, and I think he put together a excellent story and shared just exactly where his culture come from, his American culture that so many people that's I'm just saying they're ignorant. And I mean, ignorant is not a bad word. If you don't know something or whatever, that just means you're ignorant. And they don't educate themselves. And I would tell you, people have, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the phrase? I said this on my podcast earlier. People feel what they don't understand. People feel what they don't understand, and they will make some that they don't understand to be a bad thing instead of learning to being more curious and less judgmental. Now, for all the people that say that they couldn't understand the word, you know what? I didn't need to understand the word. I still enjoyed the performance. but I also have my Meta Ray Bans, as well as I have closed caption on my television. I look at Narcos. I looked at every season of Narcos, and it ain't all been in English. But you know what? I still enjoyed it. And for people that had an issue with it, hey, it is what it is. You had an opportunity to turn the channel. You had an alternative show to go look at. I didn't. I mean, whoever the NFL put out there during the halftime show, I'm gonna watch it. I can remember many years that the halftime show was awful, but I still watched it in support of. And the Super Bowl is not just for certain people; it's for everybody. And all of the messages that he had in there, and I know you finna tap into all of them, so I won't take that away from you, man. But every one of those Easter eggs, I understood every last one of them because I am fully aware of my brothers and sisters that live in Puerto Rico. I served with a lot of people from Puerto Rico, was deployed with a lot of people from Puerto Rico. Most of the people that had something to say about that show ain't never even put the uniform on, let alone even try to figure out or understand the culture that goes on over there. So I salute Bad Bunny and everybody that performed in that show.
Man, I don't know how I can follow that up. You're absolutely right. Thank you for sharing what is sitting on your heart on this fine Tuesday evening. Now, the Super Bowl, like we mentioned several minutes ago, the biggest platform for the biggest sport in America, where you not only have your American fan base, but you have the America's fan base and the global fan base that Griff already mentioned. So you have to understand that the performance has to reach the audience that it is intended to reach. And it is not just your zip code, ladies and gentlemen. Last year when Kendrick Lamar performed, he came into the Super Bowl performance with a message that he wanted to deliver. Every single artist has that opportunity when he, she, or they, or whoever that band or group is that is selected to perform at the Super Bowl, understand that this is the opportunity of my lifetime, most likely the highlight of my professional career up to this point. So I'm going to put my best effort forward. And we all are adults. We all realize that we're living in a culture here in these 50 states of America that is socially, definitely economically, and most definitely culturally separated. And that's intentional for a variety of reasons. Griff, you called them ignorant. No, they are consciously stupid. You are consciously making the decision to be stupid because the information is available anywhere and everywhere. You are deciding to not open your mind and your heart up to other cultures. Last week on this very show, I talked about Black History Month and what the opportunity for Black History Month is. Let it be a window and a doorway for everybody to learn about opposite cultures that we all have to and should want to live side by side on a daily basis because we're all global citizens. Right? Billie Eilish said at her Grammy acceptance speech, nobody's illegal on stolen land. None of this belongs to you long term. You show up in this world the way that you show up in this world. You had no decision in that. Now, the Super Bowl halftime show was the perfect example of this young man being the right messenger with the right message, because he did multiple things throughout this particular performance. He stood in his firmness of his personal beliefs. He stood in his family's lineage, in his family's heritage, in his community's heritage, proudly, boldly, and without any compromise. So right out the gate, when he comes out or when the Super Bowl performance show opens up and you see the sugarcane fields, and I immediately knew exactly what that cultural reference was. growing up in South Louisiana as a Louisiana Creole, sugarcane production is a major financial production provider in that part of the state because the culture and the land is rich and is conducive for sugarcane planting. So the amount of pride that he took in putting that not only in the Super Bowl performance halftime show, but front and center throughout as not a backdrop, but a centerpiece that spoke messages. It spoke volumes and it spoke to the both history, whether you are Tiano, whether you are African, whether you are of Spanish descent, you are all one because it is just like the rest of these 50 United States, a big melting pot of gumbo related cultures and ethnic backgrounds. We're all still the same race, the human race. Now, having this particular still shot up is the perfect example for me that I stand in my culture, I stand in the diversity of my culture because from what you can see, you have every shade under the sun in this performance. It lets you know that Benito is comfortable with who he is. Now, it is not just we're here to highlight what's good about our culture. It is not just that we are here to highlight how proud we are of our heritage. It is that, hey, we are still living in reality. And reality is that we got things that we need to take care of. We are Americans. Griff already told you. We don't need a history lesson as to when Puerto Rico was annexed from Spain in 1898 and became an American possession. We all understand history. You understand it. You got to accept it. You don't have to like it. So, for a American citizen to have to highlight during the event of his life that me, my family, my community, we're still suffering because we don't have reliable electricity that is being provided to us on a regular basis from a hurricane that happened 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, Hurricane Maria. We still have parts of the island that is suffering from inconsistent power.
They having rolling black. Hey, something I never knew until I got to Texas. They have rolling blackouts. So
Yeah,
they basically shut down the power at certain times because of the grid.
yeah. And to have to include that into a Super Bowl performance to shed a light in front of the entire world that our federal government is not taking care of our citizens. Come on, y'all. We got to do better. 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 And then the humanity to ensure that I empathize with others sits at the front of this young man's actions throughout this performance. We've all understood and seen what has been going on in this country over the past several months, especially with ICE and their intensification of deportation efforts and having no holds barred. It's like, is there a load that you cannot go under when you're utilizing babies as props, as human shields, as bait? This is the federal government. Like, come on, man. But to see him hand his Grammy over to that baby after going through the ordeal that he went through over the past several weeks, him and his father and his family and the community that they continue to go through and will continue to go through, shows that there is not only a human connection there, but a level of empathy that understands that we are one community at large. So there is hope there.
Hey, Drew, it would also, even with him utilizing that young man, but it also all young men. Hey, if Bad Bunny can do it, I can do it. He comes from the same place I come from, and it's almost like he utilized that young man, but it's like he's handing the trophy to the young Bad Bunny.
Generation.
And
Or the young back,
this
yeah.
is the dream that you had for us, and we did it. And I'm turning that trophy over to you.
No, you're absolutely right. Because 10 short years ago, he was bagging groceries at a grocery store in San Juan, while posting his own music on YouTube, trying to get somebody to listen to it. So from going from 10 years ago, bagging groceries, just like the Kurt Warner story, to 10 years later on a global stage, on the biggest stage.
Set a record for the most watched halftime show in the history.
I'm going to get to that.
My bad. I apologize.
No, you're absolutely right, though. Right? And you always want to look for the good stuff, as we always say at Sergeant Majors. Always hunt the good stuff, always hunt the good stuff, always on the good stuff. Because there's always a positive in whatever cloud that you're dealing with. The performance by Ricky Martin, inspirational, great. The performance by Lady Gaga, man, who doesn't love Lady Gaga? I know some people don't, and something wrong with y'all. I'm telling you, Lady Gaga is a globalist, as Fred loves to be a celebrationist. She is a globalist, right? Which understands that we all come into this world in different forms, in different shades, with different beliefs, different understandings of how we are to interact with people, how we grew up based on our cultural background. They showed in this dance that they had, this song that they sung together, that the Americas, because that was another history lesson that was provided for a lot of people, the Americas, one America, the other countries within America, can and shall make a huge difference in 2026 that will flip this on its head. But, the way that Bad Bunny closed out this halftime show for me, Griff, separates how different it was from the Kendrick Lamar show, right? Kendrick had a message for a specific group of people based off of an accumulative amount of treatment that Black people, African Americans, people of color have received in this country throughout the legacy of this country, the entirety of this country. And it was to boldly say that we are here, we are staying, right? Because what you cannot do and shall never be able to do is to erase the blueprint, the original. And we are saying it with our full chest. What Bad Bunny brought to the table in 2026 was the same message, but wrapped in love, right? It's a way that you deliver messages sometimes that hit harder than the actual message itself. And what Bad Bunny did, if you have paid any type of attention to the global reaction to this halftime show over the past 48 hours, it goes to what Griff mentioned earlier, breaking Kendrick Lamar's record of 133 or 134 million views within the first 48 hours. He's up to 144 or 145 million in the last 48 hours by my last count before coming on to the show. And just as with Kendrick Lamar's, is going to continue to expand and grow throughout the rest of this month and into the future. So he surpassed what Kendrick Lamar did last year in that sense and in the impact. And when I say the impact, this is what I mean. Over the past 48 hours, on whatever social platform or social media platform that you are on, you would see or can see not only responses saying that, man, this was a banger of a halftime show. I absolutely love the choreographic display. I absolutely love the cultural heritage that was shared, identifying local community businesses, actual wedding that took place, cultural references to our ancestors, our elderly, our young, the entire thing. But it wasn't that. It was the emotional response from people who said this was a bomb of a show. It wasn't that it was just great. It wasn't that it was the best Super Bowl performance ever. It was how it touched my heart. It was putting tears into the eyes of certain people or a lot of people, no matter their cultural makeup. Representation matters. And that's what they saw at the end with this. That's what they saw and heard with their own ears when he took the time to list 26 out of the 35 countries that comprise America. And what Griff said in his opening comments about this topic was that we forget that we are just a small portion in these 50 states of America.
Yep.
We have to broaden our horizon, ladies and gentlemen. We have to. If we are going to ensure that we do what we say we want to do, which is to leave this earth for the next generation better than we found it. And right now, we are not doing that. We are severely lacking, missing out. We got to fix it. This is the year to do so. All right. So, phenomenal halftime show, phenomenal message, phenomenal cultural foundational boldness that Bad Bunny and the entire performing crew put together. An extremely educational halftime show for the world that should spark discussion for the rest of Black History Month, Women's History Month, and each cultural history month that is recognized. We are all global citizens at this point. You can no longer live in your bubble wherever you think your bubble is. You are a global citizen. You need to engage and be an active participant because
Those of us that serve,
let's see.
yeah, those of us that serve understand. I would just say, man, what I've noticed is most of the people that never served, that never been to some of these countries and stuff, they just think based on what they've been taught that hey, we are the best or whatever. And again, I'm American. I love America, but there's a lot of things about America that I dislike. I had an opportunity actually to go to a a Bad Bunny thing because my next door neighbor daughter goes to an international school here in Houston, and they had an international day like what we have at the Sergeant Major's Academy, where all our classmates share a little bit from the countries. They did the exact same thing on Thursday. I went up there, man. Drew, when I say I ate from all the different countries, I mean we had we had Afghanistan, we had Pakistan, we had Jamaica, we had Germany, we had China, Japan. I mean, I ate at all those spots, and that's the one thing about the military that I missed the most because if it's one thing that the military taught us that I wish that all these American citizens that talk so how patriotic they are was exposed to what we was exposed to in the military as far as celebrating different cultures. How we did it every month. Adrian is on here. Adrian was an EO guy, and he was responsible for putting a lot of that stuff together, man. And I think, we see it differently because we've been exposed to it. If we just had more people that was more curious, like I said before, and less judgmental and willing to learn, they'll be surprised what they're missing out on. But they'd rather live with a lie than embrace the truth. And again, I ain't trying to make it political, man, but you got my Agent Orange flared up with all your conversation, man.
No, man, hey, God put it on your heart to share. You got to share.
Troy, I am greedy. I'm telling you because I don't turn down nothing but my collar, especially when it comes to food. And I love tasting food from all these different cultures and countries, man, because again, when you bite in beef is beef, just a different seasoning. That's it.
Hey, we have far more in common, no matter your nationality, no
Yep.
matter your ethnicity, maybe a little bit more than your cultural makeup, then we don't, right?
Yep.
Because truth be told, 99.5% of every human body is exactly the same.
Yep.
The other 0.5% is everything else, how you show up in the world. If my organs are good enough to go into your body, then the interaction should be good enough as well, as long as we come
Mm.
to the table,
Clock it. Clock it.
as long as we come to the table with some fruitfulness. So
We done,
nobody is better than anybody else. Nobody
we,
is superior. Uh,
we done
you
ran
know,
off. We done ran off a whole bunch of viewers, Drew. I guess we got to
yeah,
get back.
hey, they'll be all right. They'll be
Yeah.
all
I said they went to the alternative show.
right. Yeah, but phenomenal halftime show. What Bad Bunny did was spark a conversation, spark action, spark the beginning or the continuation of a movement here in the Americas here in 2026 that should lead to some positive change. Black History Month. Learn about another culture. It's not just about Black history, it's about the global community. All right. So, that great conversation. That was a conversation that needed to be had, and I'm glad that we had the opportunity to do so. 2025, Griff, we culminated with the dark side turning off the lights, going into everybody's house, had Teddy Pendergrass on speed dial. Click, turn them off. Click, San Francisco, nice to see you. Bye. Los Angeles, you thought you was good. Click, bye. AFC, really? Y'all actually thought y'all can compete with us? Click, good night. Everybody got their lights turned off. But during the dance, when the lights were still turned on and the DJ was still spinning records, was there a moment when there was a team or was there was a player that captured your eye and said, okay, he has made that transition, or that team has made that leap from that's that team, that's what they do, to okay, they could possibly be on to something. And I want to see, based on the progression, what they can look like in 2026. What gave you hope in 2025 that you can take into 2026 for a team or a player or for a group of people?
I like to see the Chicago Bears, man. What I saw with the Chicago Bears this year was not expected, and I only can see with they coach having another. That was just his first year under that program, and we seen how that program been. We done seen how Caleb Williams went from year one to year two. Uh, I think they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with within the NFC. We talked about this, and what you just highlighted. We knew that whoever went the NFC was going to win the Super Bowl this year. This is hands down whoever played in the Super Bowl. And actually, we said the Super Bowl was actually the Rams and Seattle game. We already knew that, but surprised me was the Bears. The coach shocked me in the beginning, but then they got back to the coach that I was accustomed to. But injuries plagued them at the back end. But I was truly surprised with the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, yeah. This one is a triple decker. It is the Chicago Bears, it is the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it is the New England Patriots for me. All three of them had not only great turnaround seasons, but the amount of turnaround. It was like they did a complete 180, which is like almost impossible to happen in the National Football League. And they all did it with quarterbacks that were unproven. They all did it with quarterbacks that are extremely young. I got it. Trevor Lawrence is in year 4, but or 5, but just based on his progression and the things that he's dealt with, you can say, okay, 2 or 3 year. What does it say about the National Football League? Is the question? Is it parity or is it all of these huge swings? Is
I think if you look, Drew, look at the teams that you just named. All of them got new coaches. All of them
mm-hmm,
came in with different mindsets. All of them went back to what we know. win games. All those teams you just named, they all had solid defenses, which allowed them to get to certain points. It wasn't a whole bunch after their quarterbacks because of how the defense played. And that was a different. I mean, we've always talked about how defense win games. You know,
Mhm.
offense put people in seats and they look cute. I seen people say this was the most boringest Super Bowl they ever watched. It's because they not real true football enthusiasts.
Right,
I
right.
mean, I enjoyed it to watch the way these defenses played each other, and it was like checkers, and it was most people they like to play checkers. This Super Bowl was chess, and it was masterful. That's all I can tell you, man. So just look at all the teams that you just named got new head coaches that came in with a different mindset, and they was all defensive minded.
You're absolutely right. And going back to the Super Bowl, this was an exciting Super Bowl to watch because I picked Seattle to win because they were the better team. I was pulling for Seattle to win because I'm an NFC guy because of my Saints. And I like Seattle more simply because of New England Patriots and Tom Brady and blah, blah, blah. But I found myself pulling for each one of these defenses to shut down the opposite team's offense. I want 3-and-outs all game at this point. Midway through the second quarter, after that first drive, New England stiffened up, and I was like, let's go 3-and-out, 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 see who blink first. That's what Mike Vrabel was counting on. Had a shot because going into the fourth quarter, it was 12-0. Or what's it? No, it was 19-0. It was 19-0 at that point after the pick six. But the door was still open. Even after a 19-7 score, there was still hope. But defense is going to be where we get the separation in 2026 between these three teams. Can they repeat what they had on defense in 2026, what they had in 2025? Chicago Bears wasn't a great defense, but they could turn over. They can create some turnovers.
Their secondary created a lot of turnovers.
Can they come back and do that again? Historically, we probably will say no. So, can Ben Johnson's offense in year 3 of Caleb Williams' career, year 2 in his system, improve? Because they're going to have to improve because I believe the defense will take a step back. Mike Vrabel's defense, do you think it'll get better? It was a 4-scoring defense in the league. Yeah, they're going to get better as long as they're able to keep people. Can Jacksonville do that again? I don't know. So 2026 for New England looks better because of their defense. The biggest disappointment of the year for me was the injury of Jaden Daniels. I was looking forward to see whether or not he could break that sophomore slump and have the same type of season and impact that he had last year and have Washington compete against Dallas and Philly in the NFC East for that title. But after him going down, that let you know that he was the biggest factor in the success of that team last year. They messed around all offseason with that McLaurin contract, which caused him to get injured early in the season. After Daniels got injured, that was a touch and go situation all year with the rest of that team. And then he came back and dislocated his elbow, and that season was just washed. What I want to see is whether or not he can have a bounce back year. Can he be up on the podium in 2026 as a finalist for Comeback Player of the Year? Because he led the Washington Commanders to a successful year. That was my biggest disappointment as it pertains to injury. As it pertains to performance on the field, we all know. Man, Jordan's Ravens. They're not even Karen's Ravens no more. They're not even my Ravens no more. They're just yours, Jordan, because you should be all up in the locker room hollering at Lamar, saying, man, forget what they talking about. This is what we need to do. You better do that this summer when y'all in the gym. Ravens, y'all got one more chance to disappoint me like my Saints disappoint me every year. If y'all don't do what you're supposed to do next year and end up in a Super Bowl in the first year of Jesse Minter's coaching career, y'all are disappointing. Y'all fired Harbaugh for no reason because you're only repeating what he consistently does, make it to the playoffs and then bow out gracefully. So, Jordan, I'm already putting you and the Ravens on notice. With a healthy Derrick Henry, a healthy Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, uh, Andrews, y'all find a defense. Y'all will be good. Make it to the playoffs. What you got? You got anything else for the year in review?
Hey man, I would tell you the team. I mean, I knew you was gonna say Ravens, so I said let him go ahead and do his thing. But I would tell I was disappointed in Detroit. I thought Detroit, the way Detroit came out, I honestly thought they was gonna be representing and probably playing in the Super Bowl. And I think we had both said that early in the season, especially after how that offense played, and they kind of like tapered off on the back end. I think unless some change, Dan Campbell is going to be on the hot seat. As good as the coach as he is, I mean, because again, we live in a microwave era. We've been talking about it. We already said we won't see coaches going 10, 15 years no more. And as who as Dan Campbell is and all that, what he has up there, I'm just gonna say, man, we might be on the hot seat next year if the return on investment is the exact same way.
So you saying if the Detroit Lions, with all of the talent with Gibbs and Montgomery and Goff and
St. Brown, Williams.
you're right. They were a huge disappointment on offense. Defense, same thing that happened to them in 2024 happened to them in 2025 with all of the injuries. So you saying if
Drew, they win game. This is what I say before you. It wasn't just the defense. They had opportunities to win, but again, your coach, that coach loved to gamble. The team that loved to go for on fourth down more than any team in the league, costing them games, and we talk about it all season, man. I'm telling you, ownership only gonna sign off on that so many times. That's it.
that is a very interesting thing to say because that one came out of left field. But I can kind of understand it now because if Chicago comes back and is just as good, if Green Bay is still Green Bay and Jordan Love is still an MVP candidate and is healthy all year, and the receivers stay healthy all year, and the offensive line and they're competitive. If McCarthy actually is a quarterback and does not throw away another year of Justin Jefferson's career, Minnesota, is always going to be tough on defense because Flores is a tenacious defensive coordinator. The possibility of the Detroit Lions missing the playoffs in 2026, going into 2027.
It's gonna be. Hey, we didn't think McDermott was gonna be gone.
He would get hired, immediately, rehired. Yeah. But I can understand that. As crazy as it sounds, I can understand that. That is something to take off and chew on during the off season. Dan Campbell, you're on the hot seat. You're on the hot seat right now.
Hey man, owners want wins, man. They want. I mean, again, they'll sign off and everything is hoo for so long, but then when they start seeing these other teams win.
Yeah, no, you're right, Troy. They did start off like a Ferrari and finish like a Pinto.
Like a Yugo.
Like a Yugo, not a Pinto. Okay, a Ford Fiesta.
I'm really showing my age now, boy. Matter of fact, that remind me to ask Jordan if he know what a Yugo is when we go off.
Jordan don't know what a Yugo is. I'm gonna go ahead and answer that question for you. And no, the answer is not Yugoslavia. He has no idea. You can even Google it. He'd be like, "Oh, no, I have never seen that. Look like a toy." But the 2025 year, man. I'll give my final comments at the bottom of the show. But it was a great year. Every weekend, exciting football. Last second game-winning kicks. Last second game-winning touchdowns or turnovers. So, and the best team, the last 6, 7, 8 weeks of the season, actually crossed the finish line first. The best team won the Super Bowl. We all saw it. We all knew it. Nobody's surprised. So this was no Fugazi field goal missing or referee calling field goal that or Super Bowl that we can question. Since Seattle earned it, they have the best team. They had the best performance the second half of the year, and we obviously all know that they had the best defense. So great year. Griff, going into 2026, obviously the question is, can they be right back where they were this past weekend on Valentine's Day 2027? Looking at the AFC first, man, we talked about top 10 quarterback lists. Every single one of these players has a legitimate argument to be on anybody's top 10 quarterback list. Every single one of these players has physical attributes and talents that not only make them a legitimate NFL starter, but make them a potential superstar, a potential quarterback that can lead his team to the Super Bowl. All of them have been to the playoffs. All of them have shown you that they can win in the big game, whether it be regular season or in the playoff. Can Drake May, one, repeat the performance that he had this year, or was this a Dan Marino type of opportunity for Drake May where you should have took advantage of the situation when it was presented before you? Because looking at the rest of these quarterbacks and the teams that they are leading, will he be back next year, or was this a lightning in a bottle that we talked about last week for the New England Patriots? Who do you believe is going to be that guy next year based off of what you see on the screen?
On the AFC, and I have to still go with defense, man. I think that Sean Payton is going to learn from the error of his ways, and them Broncos will be another team, that team to be reckoned with in the AFC. CJ Stroud, man, Texans got an awesome defense, man. But again, I tried to tell them Bryce Young is the better quarterback between two. Hey, Joe Burrows, that's your guy, but they can't get right. That's all I'm gonna say. They just like, hey, we talk about the Ravens. Well, hey, the Bengals is just the same, and they kept their coach. So it just gonna have to be the same. They got that son gonna repeat.
Same old.
I think the Chiefs is getting ready to go through that what all great teams do. Hey, they had their run, but I don't see them improving much. They got a lot of change to do. I know they brought Eric Bieniemy back, but just because you bring that coach back, that does not mean you got to get the players. And Patrick Mahomes ain't getting no younger, man. The Chargers could be a force to be reckoned with. And I'm curious to see what the Buffalo Bills gonna look like with the new head coach change, since he was the problem. I don't think so. I do think that the Denver Broncos will be the last team standing in the AFC at the end of the season. The only reason why they ain't there, we both know, Bo Nix got hurt, and again, most of the Bronco fans, they wanted him gone, but when he was gone, when he got hurt, they needed him back. But and just coaching, because we looked at it. We talked about it. I ain't trying to take nothing away from the Patriots. But again, they won't have the same schedule that they had last year. They're going to be playing some top talent and have some, more challenges in the season than they did last year. They only played 5 winning teams last year, this season, during the regular season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll start where you left off. The New England Patriots. Will they be back in the exact same position next year? It's possible, not likely. One, because of the schedule that you just mentioned. They had a soft schedule in 2025. They obviously have one of the toughest schedules in 2026. And a lot of those games are against playoff teams from this year who don't look like they are going to drop off next year, and is going to be on the road for them. Not even counting their division games that they have within the AFC East. So they may not even make the playoffs next year with a 10-7 record, because they're going to be a 10-7 type of team next year, in my opinion. They may not even make the playoffs next year. Joe, That's my guy. That's my guy. Same-ish, different day, different year for the Cincinnati Bengals. Because, Griff, you're right. They can't get right. They're not going to get right. Zachary Taylor, I don't know how you retain your employment, but hey, more power to you. He's not going
him and your boy got a good relationship.
to it's not going to change. And the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be exactly where they were in 2023, 2024, 2025. A very good offensive team as long as Chase and Higgins and a solid run game and Joe Burrow stay healthy. They're going to continue to put points on the board, but their defense is not going to show up. So, Joe, I don't think it's going to be that guy. CJ Stroud.
He got Tank Dell coming back. Maybe he get him a couple of weapons, man. But
Yeah. He has to have weapons. He cannot be the focal point. If he is the focal point, that defense is really going to have to be monstrous
he got
to
the
ensure that they limit.
top tier defense, man. He definitely have. If he could just not again, we wouldn't be talking about the Patriots if he just didn't make mistakes. The defense was playing lights out.
No, you're right. You're right. Trevor Lawrence, I believe, is going to have another good year, but it's not going to be enough to carry that team because their defense is going to take a step back. The competition between them and the Houston Texans is going to be neck and neck throughout the year. Which team ultimately wins that division is going to be based on the team's offense because both of those two teams are going to come back with the type of defense. Houston being a dominant team on defense. Jacksonville slightly regressing, so it's going to require Liam Cohen's offense to expand a bit. And as long as ATN is healthy, Thomas Jr. is healthy, and Lawrence is healthy, they should be competitive.
They have Hunter back next year.
And they'll have Travis Hunter back next year. If that kid can stay healthy, bro, I cannot wait to see. You say Justin Herbert and the Los Angeles Chargers and Jim Harbaugh, and they're going to have another repeat performance of what they had in 2025, in my opinion. They're going to be right there in the end. They're going to be competing for the division. They're going to make the playoffs. But do they have enough to get over that hump? I don't think so. It's going to come down between Lamar and Bo Nix for me. And I specifically left out Patrick Mahomes because I don't believe the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be good enough the first half of the season while Patrick Mahomes is out and or extremely limited to win enough games to have enough cushion to be right there with Denver and the Chargers at the end of the season. So I don't believe the Kansas City Chiefs are going to even make the playoffs. As Griff said, they are aging. They're getting slower. You don't have playmakers like you once had. So it's going to come down to the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland or the Denver Broncos for me. And if that big word again, if Baltimore has a defense, because Jesse Mentor is a defensive-minded guy. If Baltimore has a defense that shows up in September and October and stays there in November and December, they will not only win the AFC North, but they will be one of the top two seeds in the AFC North if they have a defense and their offense, if people are healthy. We all understand that. And
I'm shocked, man, that we didn't with the Pittsburgh and the Colts. They don't
have a quarterback. Neither one of them have a quarterback. Danny Dimes has not proven that he is trustworthy to say that he can repeat in 2026 what he did in 2025. We don't know who Pittsburgh's quarterback is. We won't know until probably July. So, no. Lamar, this is your last shot, bro. I think this is the guy that has to show up in 2026 for me.
Okay.
You are the most physically talented quarterback in the National Football League. You're the most physically talented football player in the National Football League. If you are healthy, Derrick Henry is healthy, there is absolutely zero reason as to why the Baltimore Ravens don't win the AFC North easily. Because we already know what Cincinnati going to do on defense. We have the uncertainty of a new coach in Mike McCarthy in Pittsburgh. We understand McCarthy's history and his philosophy, but we don't know if they have the playmakers that are currently on the roster or the money to get out there and get those playmakers. And Cleveland, it is Lamar.
They coming back strong, man. Cleveland going to shock the world.
It is Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens that will come out of the AFC in 2026 for me.
Hey, Drew, I prognosticate Fred will have a Cleveland Brown jersey on next year. And he going to be talking about we them Browns. I promise you, the Browns going to win.
Pound, baby. Dog pound.
Don't sleep on the dog pound, baby.
Don't sleep on the dog pound because you do have Myles Garrett over there, the biggest dog in everybody's yard. So let's not forget that. So now, on the opposite side of the ball, man, all of these phenomenal AFC quarterbacks, all of them talented. The NFC, just as talented. Every single one of these quarterbacks that is on this particular screen can lead his team to not only regular season success, not only regular season division titles, but playoff appearances and playoff success, and should be only getting better. None of them are on the tail end of their career, except for Matthew Stafford. But he's still playing like he's 30. He just won the NFL MVP at 37. So it lets you know that he's still playing at the top of his game and everybody else's game. What you saw from these teams in 2025 gives you hope no matter what your team is if they are one of these teams. I mentioned earlier about Jaden Daniels' recovery and can he have a bounce back year is of extreme interest. I want to see how he performs, which will obviously drive how the Commanders perform. Whether or not they have success in that division with Philly getting another offensive coordinator for Jalen Hurts. So they probably going to have the same type of offense in 2026 that they had in 2025, especially if A.J. Brown doesn't get traded, because it's going to be the same story, different daggone day. So Philly is untrustworthy for me. You mentioned Caleb, what Caleb can do in 2026. Can you repeat it in 2025? I don't think Chicago will take a step back. Green Bay is going to take a step up. Minnesota is going to take a step up. Maybe Detroit is the odd man out, but I don't think Detroit takes a step back because they are just simply too daggone talented to take a step back. So I don't think Caleb is going to be able to have the same success in 2026 that he had in 2025. Jalen Hurts, we already talked about Philly. Jared Goff, they don't have the consistency to be there in the end for me. 49ers, until you do right by me, everything you touch, it ain't going to happen. Y'all simply are not going to have the success that you think you're going to have. Now, Griff, Jordan Love, and Green Bay are going to find a way to do it to themselves in 2026. This is the one for me. Matthew Stafford is going to be healthy and good enough. Dallas showed you in 2025 that they have one of the best offenses in the league. They've already tagged your guy, George Pickens. So you know he's going to be back. He knows that I have to really ball out in 2026 if I want that Jamar Chase money, if I want that JSN money, if I want that Puka Nacua money. I have to be the one in Dallas. I have to lead Dallas offensively. I have to be Michael Irvin to Dak Prescott's Troy Aikman to lead us to the NFC title game against the Los Angeles Rams for the right to go to the Super Bowl at SoFi Stadium in Super Bowl 61. That is going to be mine if, again, NFC title prediction if both of these two teams stay healthy. Dallas is going to spend the money to build a defense. Jerry knows this is going to be his last shot in 2026 to win one because, bro, TikTok.
Hey, man, I'm glad you got more confidence in my team than I do.
I'm telling you, your rookie coach proved that he can lead an organization to have the type of offensive success that he know he can produce. And not just any organization, the organization. So Jerry is going to be willing to spend the money to get the defensive players that he's going to need. That's why he tagged, or the Dallas Cowboys tagged George Pickens early and not have to drag on.
We'll see, man. I like Troy just said. Why not just pay him up front? I mean, that's what Jerry.
He has not earned that, bro.
Well, I don't know, man. I would tell you that the Cowboys look like a totally different. And the only reason why that offense looked the way it did was because of George Pickens. I'm just gonna keep it real. I just, I've seen the moves that the Cowboys made as far as coaching staff. They done brought a lot of young, talented people in there, so we're going to see. But again, to beat the man, you got to beat the man. And so I'm still, Seattle's still the team to beat. I mean, that's just the way I look at it. They still the team to beat. Unless they make some huge turnover in the offseason, they still the team to beat for me.
I understand that. And I left Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks off because I think they're going to get, I don't know why, whether it's negative dominance or prognostication, just spirit coming over me, but they're going to suffer some key injuries on offense next year that is going to derail their playoff positioning, that they're going to get an early exit and not be as dominant on offense, to where the defense won't be able to compensate for the offensive shortcomings that is going to get them next year. That defense is going to be the defense, and they still going to be defensing, but the offense is going to kind of cripple them a little bit to where they're going to be early exit. You put
some of that Louisiana voodoo magic on Seattle, man.
That's the Gemini magic that's within me. One side telling me this while the other side telling me that.
Okay.
Yeah. So and simply because of where the location of the Super Bowl is, the NFL script being the NFL script, I think the Rams will beat the Cowboys in an NFC title game. Because even though the Cowboys are going to have a better season offensively, the Rams will have a better defense than the Cowboys, and that's going to be the ultimate difference maker in that NFC title game. No love for Carolina, no. Just like I ain't say nothing about my Saints.
Let me say this. They'll be in the hunt. Hey Troy, if that make you feel, they'll be in the hunt. They're in the NFC. Hey, in the NFC South, everybody got a chance.
Oh, here we go with that old Tide narrative again.
Hey, they'll be in the hunt.
Hey, I got the Rams coming out of the NFC. I have the Baltimore Ravens coming out of the AFC. That is my early, way too early Super Bowl prediction for 2027. The Baltimore Ravens against the Los Angeles Rams at SoFi Stadium on February the 14th.
Let me go check out the colors for next year, because that's what we know who's supposed to win. Now, I don't know if you looked at the picture of this year that they had. If you go check out the picture that they had, and they had all the players inside the picture, go look and see who the two players was up there near the trophy, by the Lombardi Trophy, in that picture before the Super Bowl happened.
When was the picture originally produced?
Oh, it was produced well before the Super Bowl. I'm going to get it for you. Just know that up there
was Sam Darnold
and Drake May.
Man, that might have been AI generated to post data. Just like
I would get it for you, Drew. It was before we even knew who the two Super Bowl teams were.
you
Fred said stop with all that capping too. The Cowboys ain't gonna be nowhere near no title. Stop with the capping.
know, Fred, the ultimate celebration is. I'm pretty
Fred,
sure you have many Cowboys jerseys.
Fred say he is retired, man. He is strictly here for support. He is no longer supporting no teams. He too busy making movies these days, man.
Fred, the good book tells us that you have to set out 8 hours of your day for leisure, Cowboy support, Bear support, Giant support, 8 hours for work, and 8 hours for rest and dedication. You know you're gonna be here next year talking about how about them Cowboys in week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to week 17 until they actually disappoint us when they're gonna do what they always do. But don't sell the Cowboy Nation short, man.
True.
I ain't capping.
You got to look at the comment section, man. He got celebration is retired. That's what
He got the patch. He got a celebration as retirement patch.
he got celebrations retired, man. He got the R in the front.
I feel you, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Continue blessings and best of luck for all of the upcoming movies and work that you're gonna do anyway. Great season, great show, great closeout show. We've come to the point in the show where it is time for us to say our goodbyes, all of our thank yous, and some individual acknowledgments. Daggone it again! I forgot to go get the award that I had set aside, like our own, roundtable, slammy Grammy, whatever you want to call it. Oh well, you'll get it next year, whoever it was supposed to be for.
Okay.
But Griff, man, we done had some great moments this year as a roundtable audience and community, uh, predicting, previewing, recapping, rehashing, wowing each and every weekend of both college football and the National Football League. It's hard to say, well, let me go ahead and use these next 2 to 3 minutes to encapsulate the past 6 months of great football that we all witness if we are a passionate football fan or a casual football fan. Something sparked our interest, something got us to the game in front of the television, in front of the software device that you use to watch the highlights, the game, support this player because he was a family member or she was a family member, a loved one, a friend, a compadre, a fellow global citizen that you support because you're affiliated with that city, that town, that school, that team. It's a lot. Indiana, Griff. Indiana won the national championship, bro.
Never thought I'd see the day.
The epitome from zero to hero in the blink of an eye. A lot happened in 2025. It's hard to put it in a bottle, but I'm going to turn the floor over to you, man, to share your thoughts with the season that was and the show, how it continues to evolve, and obviously the thanks and support that you want to share with the roundtable audience. So I turn it over to you, good sir.
Right before we came on here, man, me and John was talking right before you came in the green room, man. It's been 3 years, man. 3 years. Now it don't even seem like we've been doing this for 3 years, but the reason why is because the people that continue to support us, the people that keep on showing up day in, every Tuesday and Friday, giving the commentary in the comment sections. Y'all the ones that help this platform grow, and I truly do appreciate y'all. It's been an excellent season, man. This is why I love football because it's more than just a sport for me. It's so many life lessons in the game. It's so many storylines. And people look at reality shows. Well, football is my reality show, and it's just so many storylines that can help you grow. Like the Sam Darnold storyline. I posted a picture of that earlier this week with him and all the 5 teams that he was in, and the Seattle Seahawks Sam Darnold is reaching down to lift the Minnesota Vikings Sam Darnold off the ground, man. It just goes to show what perseverance and resilience is all about. And so that's why I love this game. I just want to thank everybody that continues to support us. I want to thank all the Roundtable family that helped me with my book. Again, I wrote a book in the beginning of this season, and I got the amount of support that I got from everybody. I truly appreciate it. To Jordan, thank you, my guy. I mean, this show is nothing without Jordan. We get Jordan a hard time, but it's for a reason because he do an excellent job. All the stuff that y'all don't see Jordan doing, all the reels that y'all see on social media, and all this other stuff, that's Jordan. Me and Drew just get on here and talk, but Jordan do all this stuff. So, hey, and if you have not purchased your copy of Don't Talk About It, Be About It, you just go ahead and run out there and get it. And by the time the next season starts, my next book will be out. And I'm already on chapter 6 as we speak right now, man. So, again, man, my brother, thank you for choosing me to come on here and be a part of this. Thank you for all the people, Troy, for coming on the show. Definitely next year, we definitely got to get Fred for standing in when Drew couldn't be here. Thank you. And Fred, make sure you put your information inside the comment section. Let everybody know when your short films and stuff come out, man. Because I'm looking forward to seeing it, man. That's what it's all about. Just two veterans on here talking football, man. And thank you, my brother. And I turned over. Hey, no, let me say this. In the immortal words of Bowser from Sha Na Na. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Do, 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 do. But I know you don't know that, but we'll talk about that in the green room.
Man, that was an excellent outro, and thank you for those kind words that you shared with the Roundtable audience for closing out 2025 and the NFL 2025 season. Let me begin my comments by saying thank you to the Roundtable audience. As Griff mentioned, we are on year 3 of this endeavor, and this show continues to grow each and every way because of your engagement, your continued support, your suggestions for improvement, because we improve each and every time that we sit down and have these conversations with each other. And we often make the reference that we're just two veterans dialoguing about a game that we're both extremely passionate about, but also knowledgeable about. And what we bring to the table, it is not just, hey, my perspective based on the support that I have for this particular team, but it's based on the subject matter expertise that I also and experience on this game that so many people support and love at every echelon, whether it's at the Pee-wee level, whether it's at the Pop Warner level, whether it's at the middle school or junior high level, the high school level, the collegiate level, or the National Football League level. We are all vested in this sport because we all love somebody who loves to play this sport. It is not just a activity. It is the lifeblood of many of America's and the world's young men and women. So that's why it is just as important to the US-based community as global football, soccer is to the global community, right? It is not only a game, it is a passion. It is something that it is extremely driven. Now, what 2025 did, man, Indiana, dude, Indiana in 126 years have never been not only a part of the conversation, allowed to be in the same house that the conversation was being had because they were so terrible. You talk about Vanderbilt used to be a homecoming. Indiana was the team where you can put your JV in the first quarter to test some new plays out because that was an automatic dub. And what your guy has gone into that university and done in 2 years to not only have 2 back-to-back 11-plus win seasons after Indiana not having 0 success in the previous 120-plus years is not only noteworthy, it is not only justification for a 30 for 30, as you would say. But this is the real life story of the movie Hoosiers. This beats out the Indiana Hoosier story. This beats out a local high school team going up against the biggest team in the state and then coming away with the state title. This is crazy because Indiana didn't do it against just within the state. They did it against the best of the best in the entire country and did it in a dominating fashion. What Signetti has done with experience over young talent has provided a new blueprint to the original blueprint. What Saban created no longer applies. College football is going to continue to be the wild, wild west. We've already seen that just with the transfer portal here since November, since Thanksgiving. And how many players and coaches that are successful at location A are leaving for the possibility of getting that same success at location B and just a little bit more. Because I'm glad Lane Kiffin maybe on the field is coming to Baton Rouge, but it is mind-boggling to me that any SEC coach would leave his team after accumulating an 11-1 regular season record. Why would you voluntarily leave? Because you feel that you can do better elsewhere. And we are in the microwave era where players understand that it is a one and done contract every single year. There is no loyalty, neither from the school nor from the player. Can we come together that 1 year and get it done? Unless you're Indiana. Kudos to the college football season. Kudos to how college football is evolving because it's going to continue to be the Wild Wild West. It is going to continue to be the highest bidder wins in the immediate future until legislation is done to rein in what universities have done to themselves, basically conferences have done to themselves. SEC is no longer the big dog in the yard. It is all about who is the hungriest, period. Looking forward to it. Now, the NFL, man, the best team won, like I said. There were a whole lot of other teams that could have won. The Rams could have won. The Patriots could have won. The Broncos could have won. But ultimately, the biggest dog in the yard proved that they were not only the biggest, but they were the hungriest. And they were the most tenacious. And they dragged everybody to the dark side. And they turned off the lights, and they were the last one standing. So the NFL, I have no complaints. I know Harold may not agree, but I think that the way that the season ended on the field with the best team deciding that we are going to win this on the field proved that the passion that you have for that game when you were 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old still burns deep within you. So I'm looking forward to next season as well. Griff, my man, my brother. We started this journey 3 years ago, right? And we were spitballing at the very beginning, me, you, and Jordan, that, hey, this is what we can do. This is what we want to accomplish. So let's see if we can put something together to have a successful, 2-weekend episode or 2 episodes a week type of deal where we come in here and talk about football for an hour or so. And Jordan, you have continued to grow with us as the show has grown. And I continue to wish you and Lyman Up Media the best of luck as your portfolio continues to grow and expand beyond the efforts that you provide on this show. So thank you for that. We understand that every time you do come on camera, your team loses. So y'all most likely won't see Jordan on camera in 2026 because he understands that there are things such as jinxes when it comes to NFL teams. So Jordan said, man, stop asking me to come on camera because every time I come on camera when the Baltimore Ravens got to play a big game, they lose. So I think Jordan going to continue to, direct from the back of the show from here on out next year if y'all don't see him on camera. When we started this, man, this was something that we didn't have to have a conversation about, right? Because we both, and we say it all the time, we've both walked the same path. We've had on the same boots at different times or another in different zip codes because of the career that we've served in the U.S. Army for 30 plus years, served in the same type of positions, in the same type of environments, under the same type of conditions. So the similarity as it pertains to professional experience is something that is second to none, but it is more of a cultural understanding that we've also had that similar experience. Mine being in South Louisiana, yours being in Birmingham, Alabama. So similar type of conditions, similar type of struggles, similar type of lessons. And it teaches you how to see things as they actually are instead of how people are trying to present them. And when you come to the table with a passion about a particular thing, that's not something that you have to really study to talk about. Being passionate about football and understanding how the game works both on the field, off the field, in the locker room, in the coach's booth, and in the front office, all of those things have to be taken into consideration, no matter the level that they're on. And that's what makes this show so good. That's what makes this show flow without any attempt of actually putting a lot of work in. You're absolutely right. All you and I do is show up. Jordan does all of the legwork and his team. So it is my extreme pleasure, my honor. I'm like giving an award ceremony speech. As we close out another successful year, man, and bro, the Americas, we going through some ish. These next 6 months are going to be tipping, all right? And you have to be both defensive and offensive and insightful in every approach and in every situation that you find yourself, no matter the location that you find yourself. So to the Roundtable audience and to all of your immediate circle within the community, y'all have to make sure that we are planning ahead, make sure that we are keeping our head on a swivel, make sure that you take things into consideration when you are going into situations and or events. Live your best life. Stay prayed up if you are of faith, but make sure that you do what you always do. Take care of yourself so that when we do come back in August or September, whenever the beginning of the season is, that we're able to pick up where we left off and continue the conversation. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family as you should always do, and those that are closest to you. But here over these next 6 months, in whatever environment that we find ourselves, we are going to find situations where we can and we should do something nice for somebody that we do not even know, because it just might be the best thing that happens to them and you on that particular day, throughout that particular month, throughout that particular time in your life and in your journey. We shall see y'all back here in August or September, whenever that time is, picking up where we left off as we begin season 4. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay strong. Y'all be breezy. The thrill of victory, the agony of defeat. The 2025 college football season didn't just happen, it hit. Like a drum line echoing through November air, like a last-second kick slicing the night, like hope rising and falling in real time. Welcome to a year where legends were written in pen, dreams were erased in pencil, and chaos signed every page in permanent ink. The season that refused to behave, from week 0 to the final confetti drop 2025 said, rankings are just suggestions. Powerhouse teams reloaded. New blood crashed into the gates. The expanded playoff turned Saturdays into survival tests. No lead was safe. No name was sacred. This was college football in its rawest form. Beautiful, brutal, and unapologetic. The unthinkable becomes reality. The Indiana Hoosiers claimed their first ever national championship. Yup, Indiana, y'all. From punchline to powerhouse, the Hoosiers authored the most improbable title run of the modern era. Tough, disciplined, unflinching. They didn't blink when the lights got bright. They owned them. Every snap was belief. Every drive was destiny. And when the clock hit zero, Bloomington became the center of the football universe. Cinderella didn't just make the ball, she won the whole dance. Conference wars provided no safe havens. The SEC stayed ruthless. No weeks off, only scars. The Big Ten Conference flexed depth, defense, and playoff muscle like never before, winning the last 3 national championships. The Atlantic Coast Conference proved it's not just surviving, it's swinging back. Every league had contenders. Every Saturday had consequences. The agony that lingers long after the final whistle. For every miracle, there was heartbreak. Seniors walking off the field knowing that it was over. Coaches watching seasons tilt on a single team penalty. Fan bases refreshing scenarios that never really materialized. This is the price of passion. This is why it hurts. This is why it matters. The final whistle. 2025 wasn't just a season. It was a testament to belief over branding, to preparation over perception, to the truth that college football will always belong to the bold. So here's to the thrill that lifted us all, the agony that humbled us all, and a champion that reminded us why we watch and support in the first place. Indiana rose, the sport soared, and college football continues to be the spark that ignites the passion of all football fans. What a season.
What's going on, my family? This is your boy Griff. The 2025 NFL season will be remembered as a year of transformation, resilience, and a reshuffling of power across the league. It was a season where expectations were shattered, new stars emerged, and familiar giants stumbled. The story ultimately ended with the Seattle Seahawks lifting the Lombardi Trophy after a dominant 29-13 win over the New England Patriots. Seattle's rise was built on balance, depth, and the league's most suffocating defense, a unit that overwhelmed opponents all year and saved its most complete performance for the big stage. At the center of the Seattle journey was Sam Darnold, whose career resurrection became one of the defining arcs of the season. Written off by the critics for years, Darnold proved himself right and everyone else wrong. He delivered steady leadership, protected the football, and made timely throws that kept Seattle on schedule. His poise in the NFC Championship game outdueled league's MVP Matt Stafford, cementing his place in one of the greatest comeback stories in modern NFL history. Speaking of Stafford, his NFL campaign was a masterclass in veteran excellence. He elevated the Rams with precision, toughness, and late-game brilliance, reminding the league that experience still matters in an era dominated by young quarterbacks. On the defensive side, Myles Garrett delivered a season for the ages. He didn't just win the Defensive Player of the Year, he set the all-time single-season sack record. His dominance changed game plans, dictated protections, and reaffirmed his status as one of the most feared players in football. But not every powerhouse lived up to its expectations. Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens, both perennial contenders, fell short. Injuries, inconsistencies, and schematic issues kept them from reaching their usual heights, forcing both organizations to confront tough questions heading into 2026. And then came the coaching carousel, one of the most dramatic in recent memory. Multiple franchises hit the reset button, prioritizing defensive architects and innovative offensive minds. New hires signal a shift toward adaptability, creativity, and culture building, setting the stage for a very different landscape next season. In the end, the 2025 season wasn't just about who won, it was about who evolved. It was about veterans rewriting their stories, stars breaking records, and teams redefining what success looked like. And as the Seahawks celebrate their second Lombardi Trophy, the rest of the league is already asking the same question. Who's next to rise? And who's next to fall in the NFL new era? Man, this is your boy Griff signing off for my boy Drew and the 2025 Roundtable Live Football Show. Y'all be blessed and look forward to seeing y'all all back here next year.